All right, good morning, traders. Welcome back, Tuesday morning. Morning, Chris, Mindful Matters, Greg, TR. All right, we have news coming at 10 o'clock today. Yesterday, we had a very, very big drive up. Okay, we can see this breakout on the daily out of this flag, drive up into this level of supply. Like we talked about, this wick here from Monday the 11th, this high, that's a week high. That was put in overnight. So this is not expected to hold up. But as we talked about yesterday, I wanted to see us close high in this supply level and build out some liquidity here for a session or two, because that opens the gate for higher prices. All right, so today we are watching any back test of the breakout into 2100. That needs to stay firm and hold up. All right, in fact, we'll just move this up right here. All right, so we're looking for back tests of those to hold, and we're going to remain bullish. All right, we're going to remain bullish. Any trade that comes back down today for a short trade will be a higher time frame back test level. Coming into the H1 chart right here, let's move you down. We can see this old point of control we created yesterday at the highs. We talked about this. This is problematic for bulls lower time frame because it trapped bulls up high. All right, so they're currently underwater. Anyone who joined the trade late right now is underwater. And we have this level of support back here. Put this in as blue. And we can remove this. And we can think about a fib breakout. Seven minutes to open, plenty of time. All right, so from this move yesterday, we can think about maybe a 50% pullback into 21,900-ish, 9,900-ish. We'd be looking for some form of bullish pattern in this H1 imbalance here. All right, so whether that be in this level here for a bull flag, very typical into the 30%, if it's a 50% touch and go, or maybe a deeper golden pocket, W shape, inverse head and shoulders, something like that for a grind back up higher is what I'm looking for. I'm only really considering a higher time frame short if we roll over, we close this cup versus this level here, we create a handle and we start to break down underneath. That's the only time I'm thinking about a higher time frame short, right? Would be basically underneath 21,000 and staying heavy versus old support, old supply, which should become demand today. Hopefully that all makes sense. Looking at Asia, London overnight, we traded pretty much sideways overnight, and it was only at the end of London session into the start of pre-market here that we had this bear flag breakdown coming back, looking at this liquidity and looking at this huge imbalance down here. So that's where we're at this morning. So current momentum is bearish. We are in a pullback on the H1, but we're looking to see when that pullback will end and offer some upside. All right, so current momentum bearish on the lower time frame on the M5 and H1, but we're looking to see when that will finish and offer some upside. Right here, we are starting to build liquidity already. You can see right here. All right, so we've left these imbalances for the breakdown. This is old view up, gonna get rid of that. So potentially if we start to build liquidity here and base out, we can look for maybe a move above this for a retest into these overnight levels. Alternatively, if we're gonna continue to break down like we've talked about, there is a huge imbalance over here where we broke out of yesterday, and we're looking for at least 2100 to hold. Yesterday's open to hold, but ideally we don't go that far. Something like this would be great today. So that's what I'm gonna look for initially. I'm not gonna join necessarily the short for the first breakdown. You know, if they start flushing it at the open to come deeper, that's fine, it can go without me. I'll just wait to see if and when we put in bids. Like I said, this might want to trade sideways for a session or two. Right, so that's what I'm thinking about at the open. You've got 4 minutes left, and remember, news at 10 o'clock. Looking at the book, you've got some sellers up at 21,240. Remember, we hit through 250 yesterday. You have some bids down, some very strong bids at 112, 21,112. You've got a 200 lot there, and then into 21,150 lot. All right, so that's definitely the level that we were talking about. So that all lines up. Going back to chat now. Morning, Chris, Mindful Matters, Greg, TR, Abe. Good morning, everyone. So let's have a good day. No reason to rush here at the open. Remember, you have news coming at 10 o'clock. Don't need to be forcing anything today. Take it nice and slow. We had a decent breakout move yesterday. We're into some higher time frame supply now. We need to think about, remember, momentum and location. So momentum currently, higher time frame is upside. Momentum lower time frame right now is downside. Location for an upside move right now is not necessarily ideal. So a deeper pullback for me would be lovely, but like we always talk about, we will get whatever the market gives us and we go from there. Sorry, just having to sort out some emails here, which haven't gone through overnight from students. How many of you ended the day green yesterday? Hopefully some of you took that long towards the end of the day. It was a really nice long. Yep, Traderify is halted. I expect that to be back online by Wednesday, having talked to Brett. You know, unfortunately, it's unfortunate that they had to do it when they did it, but they were having so many issues. I think usual thing, and they grow really quick. And then obviously Traderify works pretty much exclusively with what's it called? CGQ, data provider for Tradeovate, so they needed to get their own server, which should be migrated this week. Here we go, 1 minute until the open. Don't worry too much about this red line down here. This is just a previous high. What I'm more interested in is what level? 21,036. Yeah, really into New York Open yesterday. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. CQG, there you go. Someone got it right. So ES opening with a morning shove here, back up to the upside here on the ES. We have a slight gap down on the QQQ. ES opening pretty much flat in terms of cash gap, driving back up towards its VWAP right now. So relative strength in the market in the morning in the ES. Mixed bag so far on the Mag 7. Okay, Apple pretty much flat on the day. Microsoft red, Amazon red, Google red, Nvidia red, Tesla red. Everything now going red. We're in a sell. Tech looking to back test some of the levels we talked about probably. All right, so just have to be hands off here. If you're in the short already for a continuation, like we talked about, and expecting it to continue down and find some sort of support or bid somewhere around these areas. If that doesn't happen, then we can flip to a multi-time frame short thesis. So that 21,112, there's a 200 lot there. And then 21,100, right? Those might act like complete magnets trying to suck the market down towards it. It's a big rejection off VWAP so far on the ES. Remember, the higher time frame, multi-time frame is bullish. You just need to be cautious here as we are in a pullback leg. Possible cup being formed if it starts to fail lower. But really, I'm looking for back test on daily and H1 levels, areas where I can possibly get long. We're testing old value area low right here, right now. If this starts to squeeze, I'll try and participate in this for a small scalp. Here we go, starting to participate in this just for a small scalp back upside. Lovely. Looking really good. So I've got a very nice entry there into 50s as we turn back the other way. Moving my stop up aggressively in case these sellers come back in and protect 70. There we go. So nice scalp to start the day there. Very, very small size. If this starts to build out liquidity and starts to turn, we can think about this move here. I will want flow zones to start to support the bids if we're really going to do that. Like I said, had to protect there in towards 70 because it's old supply. Really simple. Sellers showed their hands here. We're technically not bullish until we get above this. I did take this break back above. You can think about opening range on the 5 minute in 2 minutes time. Would not be surprised to see the market sort of go a bit more sideways and consolidate over the next couple of sessions. It would make total sense to me looking at the daily for the market to do that, to build some liquidity on that right shoulder on a daily move, let the Bollinger Bands come back down towards it, and then look for the expansion. So buyers showing their hands there then. They're protecting that old value area low currently. Right here, value area lows right here. Okay, so we've ducked underneath it, but it is currently protecting it. Question is, can they trigger the squeeze? Can ES get through the VWAP as well? I'm going to let this build out here and then look to join the squeeze if it's going to present itself. Hopefully it just doesn't go turbo without us. Really would have liked deeper prices first, but market unwilling. You've got 4 of the Mag 7 now gone red to green on the day. Here, I'm joining this right here, moving very aggressive with my stop for a scalp. Momentum now pulling back to the upside like we talked about. Okay, so higher time frame is bullish. That's what I kept talking about today. I was looking for a pullback to get bullish into. So aware of these levels now. Oh no, wrong chart. Back testing VWAP and deep pullback here. Now what I'd really like to see is a base above this level here. Come on, let's do it here. Base above here would be good to offer upside. Very nice, looking really, really good here. ES still can't get through VWAP, dangling underneath. So if you're in this, be protective, be proactive with your stops. It's still very, very early in the day. You've got a new 5 minute bar here, so you can think about that opening range breakout above the 5 minute bar if you are expecting continuation. Interesting, that buyer pulled his order down at 21,112, pulled his order. So I'll keep my eye out for him if he comes back on the book. Beautiful move, beautiful move. Nice way to start the day here. Everything we talked about starting to work out here. Really want to see any pullback now hold this level here. Don't want it to drop back into the morning range that we've created. Otherwise, it's potential for a bull trap. So this is often the reason why I previously didn't stream super early in the morning, because you have to be so quick on the trigger. So hopefully some of you got that with me. The opening 5-15 minutes, you've got to be super, super tight on that trigger. Testing VWAP here. Why has he come back? He needs to go away. Yes, TR, and also in the room. In the room. I often print in the room my executions. So here's the back test of this lower time frame level. All right, so bulls need to hold this area. If they can't hold this area, it is potential for a trap and dump back down because we've rejected VWAP. All right, so bulls need to hold this area to have a run back up. ES much weaker. ES much weaker on the day, testing its low of day currently. Yes, looks like it's going to make a fresh low here, sitting at 55.25. Got my eye on that. VIX starting to break out. Okay, VIX running back through high of day now, 1360. VIX can reprice all the way up to 1410 if it wants to. So ES much weaker on the session, coming into some daily levels here. Into 50, 51 will be key for ES. NQ looking much stronger. Can NQ hold these levels? That's the question right now. This is the level we talked about. Looking good. Want to see it drive up, make a new high here. I'm in this for just a short scalp here. Long play when I say short scalp, not looking for huge continuation yet until it proves otherwise. Looking very good though. Look how it's holding the level. Filled the imbalance, driving back upside. Really needs to get through VWAP now. Now, there we go. Beautiful move. This is just basic SNR, basic structure. Watch the flow zones. They're going to start moving to bullish to support this now. We will move into a multi-time frame long once this starts to curl and go. Keep trading simple. Doesn't need to be overcomplicated. We had a push, a pullback to retest. We talked about getting long in this level. That lovely. Now through VWAP, new high coming up, hopefully. ES, we have S&T on the markets now. ES has created a new low, trading back inside its morning range. So I've got one eye on that. I would like to see ES start to drive higher here. I don't want to see it retest its low on a 5-minute bar. I want to see it drive higher. That would give me good thesis that NQ is going to put a squeeze on. Right at VWAP again. Possible bear flag building out on an M5 on ES. All right, so I want to see ES trade upside. Can't have tech doing all the work. You've got a mixed bag on tech. So Amazon, Google, Meta, Nvidia all green on the session. Tesla red on the session. Microsoft and Apple also red on the session. But we look like we're getting going here. So where you have to be cautionary now is we are coming back to back test now the Asia low. All right, so we put in this wick. We're now back testing Asia low. So can we build out some liquidity here for this move to come and take Asia London high and previous day high? It's now the question. What we don't want to see happen is a fail up here and a trade back down into this range and getting stuck here, because then you get a lower time frame move like this. Right, so if ES starts to break down, this is potentially what we get. So again, big divergences in the market coming into December. All right, they're not trading well as a pair currently. Quite willing for this to be a choppy day like we talked about. Very, very possible. We talked about yesterday, I talked about it this morning, how on, let's get you to a daily, how on a daily chart, remember the market's fractal. What I'm looking for the market to do is to build out some liquidity here for a drive up. Sorry. All right, because that will open the door for inverted head and shoulders move, which is also what I'm looking for, lower time frame currently across most of the charts. So ES at the lows of the day, NQ at the highs of the day. So I'm just hands off here for a minute, taking a few scalps this morning. Do is get Ninja open. Yeah, Jolt's coming in at 10 o'clock. You're right, TR. Jolts may move it, may very well move it. I have to remind myself, was PAL today or is that tomorrow? I did post it in the room. Can't see it on there now. I'm sure Pal was talking this week. No, Glenn, we are working on that. We're working on that currently. So fresh low of day here on ES. Big divergences on the market. ES coming back to back test higher time frame algorithm and daily levels. Underneath that, can flush down towards its 5-day. So SPY pretty much giving back the whole of yesterday's move. You can see the strength in tech. Tech unwilling to do that as we start to look to trade upside in tech. So another flag being built here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So again, trying this long. I want to see us get through view up, holding this flag, holding the buy signal. Really just want to see expansion here. Big expansion here. Here we go. So moving stop into the money straight away just because of ES. Lovely. Here we go. Trading through view up now. Can we get the move up? Stop moved up. 10 points already. Lovely, lovely, lovely trade. So my stop's now at 97. I'm going to give it a little bit of room, but I'm locking in 11, 12 points. I'm just trading this aggressively because this is a squeeze as these shorts get trapped. The same move over and over again. You had the buy signal there on the chart. And we talked about the flow zones would support this action if we get this move. Moved up to 200 now. Want to see just constant expansion here for a squeeze. Beautiful. Pals tomorrow. Okay. So hopefully some of you caught this with me. All right. Everything we talked about, once it gets through here, base above, this is a new flag. There's your buy signal, flow zone supporting it. We talked about this. Squeeze up, testing lower time frame algo. All right. So through here, we need to build some liquidity, like we talked about, based on the higher time frame. All right, look at Asia and London session. We're going to need to build out some liquidity to drive higher and take all the short sellers from Asia and London out. So 3 nice trades so far today. 1, 2, 3. Looking for upside moves in the market because higher time frame is trading upside. ES now holding its higher time frame algo after back testing down towards yesterday's open. So ES closed basically all of yesterday and is finding bids there in front of 50. So low of day is at 52. Most of tech now green. Tesla and Microsoft are the laggers on the session. But tech looking strong, like we talked about. This is a question of when does this higher time frame pullback end and where and when can we get long? All right, easy trades from here to here has gone. Now I need to wait for it to build out liquidity, and I need to be aware that we have that JOLTS number coming in at the top of the hour with a new hourly and a new 4-hour bar. But if you look at the hourly chart, what did we talk about at the open? Looking for price to come into where? Value area low, big imbalance, possibly all the way down to 2100, but we're looking for bullish patterns in and around these levels, which is what we got this morning. So having a thesis and sticking to the thesis. Was not interested in the shorts today unless we started breakdown underneath 2100. So continuation higher, looking very, very good here. ES starting to put the boosters on now. ES 7 points off its lows. Can it trade back through its high of day and through view up? If it can do that, we can start running. What's going to be tricky here is it's probably going to do it into JOLTS, and that's going to make it really tricky. The market will get very, very thin into this JOLTS number. So you've probably got another, I don't know, 10 minutes tops to get the move that you want, and then it will get very thin. Try and connect these accounts now. So I've moved all my connections on Ninja to Tradeovate. I haven't set it all up yet. Main reason for doing that is I'm trading 5 Tradeify accounts currently. So we've just seen there, I've only got Sim open on that. Hopefully this will work. There we go, Tradeify ones are on there now. All right, 10 minutes till JOLTS. I've locked in just under $640 on my top stat this morning. Morning Activate. Morning Activate. Yeah, Ryan, they're migrating servers. Yeah, I've just had the same thing. So they're migrating servers. So probably by Wednesday, it should be done. But they were having so many issues with the Tradeovate going down for Tradeify. So you'll need to either trade with another firm today or just trade Sim. just practice, but it should be up in the next 24 to 48 hours. So look, continuation still happening here. Everything we talked about, all right? Pivot above this, longs, 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 looking to come back into Asia London high. And this is probably low resistance liquidity in some of here. Can we get up into these levels, previous day highs? That will be the target. I'm going to wait for this JOLTS number now. ES relative weakness, tech looking good. Here we go. More continuation here. If you are still in this long with me, just make sure you are taking some profits into this number. What you don't want to do is get whipped 100 points to the downside, but continuation higher like we talked about. Multi-time frame is now in alignment for the long. All right, we're in alignment for the long. Yeah, so I'm exactly the same, Ryan. I'm exactly the same position as you there. Was enjoying trading those. I'm just going to have to wait. That's why I was just opening up my Ninja to see if I could put some other accounts on it. I didn't set everything up yet with Tradeovate on it. I'll get that done later today. So can we build up liquidity here? This is what I'm looking for on the higher time frame. I'm interested if the market can build up some form of liquidity here to go and attack Asia London high and then previous day high. Oh, didn't mean to do that. And then previous day high all the way up here, this red line. If it can't do that, we might just chop, trade back inside the range that we created this morning. Do buyers come back in here? If they get stuck here, then we can think about this move lower back towards 2100. Sorry, 21,100. We still have this imbalance on the H1 that we talked about, but we dipped into it and we found buyers on this value area low. For now, for me, structure bullish on the lower time frame. So be proactive if you're in this, like I talked about. You're coming into news, you don't want to get whipped. If you've taken this long, it's offered 50 plus points. You should be locking in some profits and you should be runners only right now. Buyer is not there at 21,112. There is a buyer at 21,100. And a big 200 lot has gone. I wondered if he removed it and participated in smaller chunks for this move up. Five minutes till the news. Just going to grab my phone. I'll be right back. Do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. If you're just joining the stream, we've had some nice scalps this morning for upside. Don't forget, Apex still has a 90% sale on. I think that ends today. All right, I think Apex 90% sale ends today. I think it rotates back to 80%. Might be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure the 90% ends today and everything else remains. So still holding VWAP here. SPY is stuck underneath its VWAP currently. All right, so cash traders on the SPY on the day are stuck underneath VWAP. QQQ above VWAP, NQ above VWAP, ES below, SPY below. That's a good hold there. Like I said, tech is doing the work today. You can see there's massive divergence in the market as tech looks to push highs and ES has traded back down towards yesterday's opening print. Expecting the market to start to thin out. There's a seller up at 225. So yeah, Coop just saying it ends tonight, midnight tonight Eastern time. So if you want to grab that, use my code FZT. It will get you 90% off. Same with all the other platforms. Code FZT will always get you the best possible deal. So the book's starting to thin out now. Some of these orders starting to be pulled. Just waiting here, waiting for it to do its dance, see what we get. See if they protect current low, if they do a little sweep of this liquidity, or if they just want to go straight expansion. Not in a rush here by any means. Made good money on the session. It's a shame that all my accounts aren't linked right now. With Traderfy being down, it would have been a really nice session. So continuation higher, like we said. Momentum is bullish. The high time frame momentum is bullish in this market currently. It is a question of where can you buy. Oh, amazing. That's awesome, Exister. Well, that is great news. They got that migrated very quickly, considering they only shut it down at, what, 6 p.m. Eastern yesterday. It was a pretty quick migration. I would give it a minute to shake out on Traderfy just in case. Because you're going to have all the users currently jumping straight back in, hoping it works. So here's the news candle then. Very, very whippy here, as expected. Liquidity's been pulled, starting to get some orders come back on the book towards 215 here, trying to vacuum this to the upside. Nothing down low right now. No bids. I can see no bids on the book. So they're just trying to let it come upside, drift upside into sell orders currently. Very, very thin here. So new seller in at 240 now. Seeing if I can join this for a squeeze up towards 240, if it will let me get involved. Little bit of lag there on top step X, okay? I had a little bit of lag there, just be cautious. I'm gonna let this settle down. What I don't want is some major lag on their system. Even putting in the limit was slow. So same thesis as earlier. I'd want this really to protect this level here. All right, you need this to protect to come up, and then you'll be looking at partials, previous day level, Asia, previous day high. Right? That's what we're looking for. Can we rotate up towards previous day high 260? There is a 240 seller on the book now. He's building liquidity there as well. He's starting to add size. ES looking good here. So Looking for a way to get involved for a bullish move, at least to Asia London. That's the low-hanging fruit. Asia London level 244. So we're looking to see if we can trade up to there, if it's going to let us get involved. Straight squeezer here. It's a shame there was lag on the system because I'd be in this. So looking for pullbacks to hold here. There is a lot of stops here at 225. All right, so there's a fair amount of stops into 225. Just looking at the 15-minute chart, then above that 244, and then above that yesterday's high and towards 60s. Yes, not through VWAP yet. All right, so remember, we still have divergence in the market, but we're looking for upside moves. We've talked about this whole move before the market opened, right? Looking for a bullish pattern to get involved in. If you can't see this, you need to do the course and learn. Here's your W, there's your flag, breakout, pullback, breakout, pullback, breakout, pullback. Continuation long trades, that's what we're looking for. Hardest thing now is the market starting to drift without us, not letting us in, because shorts never learn their lessons. Yeah, Traderfire are a brilliant firm. I'm very, very happy. I like their rules. I like the platforms that they offer. I like the transparency. I like that they pay out very quickly. They're probably my favorite firm right now. Over TickTick, because they're also a little bit cheaper than TickTick, even though they offer exactly the same product. So I want to see bids hold in and around here into 200. If it doesn't, the only thing I'd be cautious of, if it doesn't hold, if it starts to do this move for a return back to the low. I'm not saying that's what we get. I'm saying if this fails here, this is what you need to be aware of, okay? Hopefully, most of you should have made money long in this session already. DS again rejecting VWAP there. I think just got to zoom in a little bit on that chart to triple check. I think we just had VWAP touch. Yeah. So sellers in control on ES and the SPY. Buyers have been in control in this morning session on the Qs. So there's your big divergence. That's 2 days in a row we've had divergence in this market. RTY red on the day, YM red on the day. VIX did that drive up, stole some liquidity, traded back inside. So VIX currently trading at 1360. The liquidity it stole was above 1367 and 1373, popped up towards 75, traded back inside. So can this market now hold this range here for expansion? Remember, we said today might be a bit of a choppy day. It might want to go sideways quite a lot. More than possible. So far, bids are holding here, like we talked about. What did we just say? I want to see it hold this level. Again, I'm in this long because we're holding this level. Holding flow zones, looking for upside. I'm being aggressive with my stop here because I know I'm buying high on the session currently. Need to see a break of structure here for me to be confident about holding. So I need to see it break 25, moving my stop up with it in case it sweeps liquidity and turns back inside. I'm being aggressive today with these trades with my stops. Main reason for being aggressive right now on the session is the divergence. I'm being very proactive here. Looking for this break to be 25, beautiful. So moving stop up now towards 24. I want to see it hold 25. This is looking very, very good. If it comes and takes me out, that's absolutely fine. But as we said, we will need to build liquidity here versus here because this is how we move higher. Here's your target. So low hanging fruit trade will be towards 44. The actual liquidity on the book is at 40. Once we get through that, 50 and then 75 has just appeared on the book. So previous day high is the target right now. If you can hold runners, if it will let you stay in this trade, you need to be holding runners for that move towards previous day high. ES now retesting VWAP, starting to get through VWAP. No candle closure yet, but it's starting to look like it wants to get through VWAP. So I've been long all morning. All I'm interested in right now is the longs until it proves otherwise. So trading back into the supply here, back down. So like I said, it should be runners only now. Can't be forcing this high. It's why I'm very proactive with my stop today. Hopefully lots of you got this. Post me a W in chat if you got any of these longs with me today for the move up. I know I've been quick on the trigger today. I have explained what I've been looking for even before the market opened. Been very, very clear. Looking for upside for multi-time frame moves up. Looking for shorts to get stuck. Very nice. Glenn with the win. Tyson with the win. Coop with the win. Mindful Matters. There we go, guys. Each and every day, turning up. Same thing. Rinse and repeat. We look for the same patterns. Stick to our thesis. Make our money and then get off. Ramus with the W. Love it. Love to see it, guys. Love to see it. Sorry if I'm slightly distracted. I'm just trying to sort out my Ninja Trader so I can actually get all my accounts on here. So some of my connections are incorrect currently. No trade for you, Abe. That's fine. No trade's fine. If your setup's not there, you shouldn't be clicking buttons. So that's no problem with that whatsoever. One thing I'd be very cautious of today in general, guys, is it's very possible we trade in a range and sideways. Remember what I keep saying on that daily chart, I would not be surprised if we try to build some liquidity out for that right shoulder. And that's going to mean trading in a range sideways, building stops in both sides of the range, okay? And then we're going to use those stops later on, probably this week towards, where are we now? Probably Thursday, Friday. If we've built enough stops in, we can think about range expansion. But we did trade into supply, right? This red box, we traded into it. So does VWAP hold now? Do we hold? Remember, we've built liquidity trend here. So if the market wants to come and sweep some of this, it can before then thinking about upside. Oh, just smashed my shoulder and elbow. Glenn, the right shoulder for the move up on a daily chart. Yeah, what I'm thinking about higher time frame is building a right shoulder on the daily chart for an expansion higher. So there's your VWAP tag, and buyers came straight back in. Straight back in there and fairly aggressively. No. Yeah, sorry, for inverse head and shoulders. Yes, Glenn, sorry. Inverse head and shoulders. J4. On daily, yeah. For this move here. Need to build out a little bit of liquidity here. Remember, this is a weak high. So ideally for that move, right, for this move, if we're really strong and there's enough short stuck in this market, it won't need to do it. It would just expand straight up. But I'd like to see it build a little liquidity here for a session or two. There we go. That's all right, Max. Stick to your rules. Important you stick to your rules. For me, it felt very high probability for a long today. And it was just a question of when and where. So this trapped the shorts, soaked back up. So I got long in here. Breakout, pullback, long in here. Flag, long, out. I was runner only here, I think. Got long in here, small size, out. Currently up 750 on the account. Now just waiting. It's the first time we failed to make a new high here. All right, so lots of liquidity built in this channel. There's your high. There's a sweep of the low. This is a failure to make a new high, so I need to be careful how we act in and around here. This can be a W, something like this. If it starts to get heavy, it might want to come and attack all this liquidity. Key for that will be what ES and the VIX do. Remember, Tech's had to do all the work this morning. Still on eval? Yeah, eval's fine, mate. Just trade your eval the same way you would trade a real account. So still holding here, potential W. As you can see, I've slowed right down, just doing some other things right now because made the money I needed off this morning session. So I'm just going to let it build out now. Not interested in buying highs, but I will join if I think they can put a new squeeze on. What I'd like to do is get my Trader 8 working nicely with Ninja, so I don't have to trade web-based. Still looks good for continuation here. All right, maybe sellers get trapped here if we start pivoting back above 20s. It's going to be tricky. It still looks good for a bullish move. So a W pattern here on the lower time frame. Flow zone still holding in bullish above VWAP. Only thing that's lagging again is ES. All right, ES the lagger. Do me a favor, smash that like button, guys. Need to get that like button moving. Yes, you can use TradeOvate account to log into Ninja. That's correct, but you need to set it up. This is what I was just sorting out now. So where you do your connections, rather than using Rhythmic, you need to set it to Ninja, and then you need to add your TradeOvate passwords. Yeah, so TradeOvate works with everything now. So if you're going to do lots and lots and lots of different accounts all in one go, you want to trade basically absolutely everything with TradeOvate now, other than Top Step. Top Step, if you're going to link everything together in Ninja Trader, that is, Top Step you would need to do with Rhythmic. You can only have one Rhythmic trading platform open within Ninja at one time. So if you're not trading with Top Step, you can use another one for Rhythmic, but it's easier just to have them all set to TradeOvate and then have them all linked up. If you're trading with TickTick, you need to have that as a lead account. So they do allow copying, but you need TickTick to be the lead account. It's just a rule in the fine print. I don't know why, but that's what they say. CC, long or short? Well, we've been long this whole session. Right now, I'm letting it build out liquidity. Don't know when you joined, but I was long here, 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 and here. Now I'm waiting. I've got the best move. This is the best move on the day. Now it needs to build out liquidity. But favoring longs today, I still think we can target upside, previous day high, Asia London high, somewhere up here. Would like to see ES get moving. What I would say is you've got a very big trend here, and it would not be too hard for this to dunk inside and steal some of it. That's why I'm not participating long right now. Momentum has slowed down. Location's not as good now as it was this morning. Momentum has slowed down. Yeah. Well, I have a meeting actually with Ninja Trader next week. So I think they're potentially thinking about setting up their own firm at the moment. So they contacted me a couple of weeks ago. We were supposed to meet last week, but obviously I was on vacation. Do I use closing price at all in my strategy? Yeah. These are closing prices right here. The white lines, close and open. Where's the other one? And here. So this is yesterday's open. This is yesterday's close. This is yesterday's high. This is yesterday's low. It's a very big part of how I trade. Just based on candle structure. And same for all prices. So like I said, this is the first time it failed to make a new high, but this is internal range. These are the stops here. These are buy stops. So if it's going to become an attack, it's going to want to attack these stops here. And then how it reacts in and around that is important. Does it trade back inside, or does it stay heavy against for a continuation lower? High and low of the 4 hour. You can use high and low of the 4 hour. That's marked the high and low on the dailies and the close on the dailies. So this is yesterday's high. So here's the sell starting. Like I said, it will attack these stops. There's the move through the stops. Now we have to see the reaction. Does it trade back inside, or does it now want continuation lower? ES again coming all the way down to previous day levels, previous day open. So ES has given back all of yesterday's gains. I don't know Peter Brandt at all. I only know him from him hating everyone on Twitter, but I have no idea how he trades or anything like that. Opening high, low close, that's just basic S&R. Really, how I trade that is based off Malaysian style S&R. Very, very simple. It's just knowing where high time frame traders are in the market. So this area down here, this open here, where was the New York open? Here, let's just put this in. All right, this is where buyers came in this morning. So we've repriced this, we've run these stops. Question now is, does it need to trade back down to where the buyers are? Or is this a trap like we had yesterday? Remember, every single sweep yesterday was to steal liquidity and trade back upside. All right, so these are the questions right now. Again, very similar to yesterday in that what is going to make this tricky is the divergence across the market. Tyson, let me just see what you said. You gave the move back. Is that what you're saying? And buddy, you got to lock in. You know, when we're up here in these prices, you have to lock in. Don't be add on the way down. This was a good move from here. Like 70-point move. Try not to force yourself into the market. It's all right. It's just one trade. Go for a walk if you need to go for a walk. Reset yourself mentally. Have to see now if they want continuation lower off that sell candle or if it is a bear trap. Like we talked about, I wanted to be cautious if we moved into here because this is the liquidity pool. But how we react here is important. Do they sell against this level into 2110, even VWAP for continuation lower, or do they get stuck instantly? Normally, we'd be looking for a sell at least once to retest this low, and then we can think about if it gets trapped. VIX, again, trying to break out through 1370. Needs to break out through that for a move upside into 14s, 1415s. So potentially in a sell here for a breakdown. If you're going to take this short, remember, you need to be thinking about scalping. Right, this is still counter trend. It might not feel like it, but it is. And then we can think about if they close the cup. So in bearish momentum, lower time frame, starting to go red. You would need a bear flag to be built out here. But again, like I said, it can just be a sweep and go. It doesn't even need to break down here if it wants to. If they want to hold and soak after stealing all this liquidity, right, there's the trend line we talked about. There's the steal of liquidity. If they want to trade upside, they will. I'll participate and join up here if they're going to do that. I'm not going to bid down low and guess and hope. I want to know one side is sufficiently stuck. Yeah, that would probably be the stops getting run down there, Glenn. Definite battle here between lower time frame, higher time frame right now. All right, ES looking weak. Low of day coming up. Trading back down to yesterday's open on the ES. Can we trade lower here on the NQ? Or do they just trap this and move back to highs? That's the question right now. Normally you'd expect one move back down. So first leg, you'd expect a second leg and then a trap if they're going to do it. It looks like buyers trying to step in here. ES at that daily level like we talked about. So here's the continuation trade. So they need to get a break of structure here on the short side for them to hold positions, right? So if you're a short here, right, you're taking profit into here and holding runners beyond it. And if they're going to trap, normally they trap after the break of structure. Right, so normally a first bounce trade, but it's very, very tricky. Like I keep saying, I know it's like a broken record, but you have such big divergence in the market right now. So here's the continuation trade. If I keep looking over here, it's because I'm watching ES. Got my eye on ES at that daily level on the 5-day hanging underneath. Yeah, but we are currently in a sell lower time frame. As your bear flag, you need a continuation here, which should run all the stops. There you go. So it's a decent trade there for short continuation. And normally, if they're going to soak, they would need to do it now. But ES very, very weak on the session. I'm not interested in longs right now in this market on NQ. All the time ES is doing a sell. Because remember, we've already had the easy trade like we talked about. This was an easy trade back up to here. Then everyone starts joining high. They get trapped, failure to make a new high, breakdown underneath. Now into bearish momentum back towards New York Open, and where buyers came in at the beginning of this session. What would this be? This would be trading in a range. What did we talk about at the start of this session and during the session? I expect us to build out a range because we need to build liquidity higher time frame right now if we're going to move back up to all-time highs. Yeah, I mean, it's not a sweep yet until it proves otherwise. Like I said, I will trade long when we're back up here, right? I'm not guessing the bottoms. I was very clear about that. I'll trade long up here when I know people are trapped. Until then, lower time frame is in a sell. Quite happy to join later. I don't need to do the guessworks. Where most people go wrong is trying to do the guesswork on the market. Let the market show you what it's going to do. Just join for a piece of the action. So we're going to have the initial balance set in 1 minute's time, and it's going to be about 100 points, which is relatively small for an IB. So everything pointing towards range rotation, liquidity creation type of day. Failed to take out London high by 10 points on the NQ. Trading back downside now. Morning, Thumper. So IB now set. Now you need to be thinking about initial balance rules, okay? Very simple. I guessed my entry. What, here? Not really. Not really. Pull back in. I got long here, small size. I added here and here. I stick to my plays every single day, mate. Tell you what, you stick to yours. I'm very comfortable. $21,170 rotation. I mean, that's what we've just done. That's your initial balance. Probably midpoint. So ES trading at its IB low, Q's trading at the midpoint, currently stuck underneath this section of liquidity earlier. All right, so bulls currently on intraday session stuck up here. Question is, can we pivot up and do this move, or are we going to reject this area here? This is very, very similar to yesterday as we tighten and constrict price action to create liquidity for higher time frame moves, which will happen probably Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or definitely Thursday, Friday. All right, Amir. Well, tell you what, mate, I show it to my room all the time, buddy. So either you want that screen to help you or you don't. If you come here to like hate, go for it. But I've got a big success record here with the team. I talk about everything before I take it. So it's up to you, mate. Like, you can either learn and trade with the community, or you can be a troll and I'll just remove you. So if you're here to troll, you obviously know better than me. So good luck to you. It's all right. Bound to get it. He's probably full tilt and blown his account. So is what it is. Those in Discord can see. So there we go. So starting to try and pivot and hold here. Let me just get some composure here. Starting to pivot and try and hold. ES trading into IBL. Have to be cautious here as we've built liquidity both sides. So what I'm expecting now on the market is a little bit of chop before it's able to do anything else. We're inside initial balance. The easy trade, like we talked about, has been and gone. The easy trade for the pivot above here has been and gone. Yes, I expect new highs, but if we've lacked liquidity to do it, it's going to be tricky. We talked about on the daily, it might need to build out for a session or two. We've got a new point of control created exactly where we are right now at 200. Here goes the squeeze then. All right, so stole the liquidity, pivot back above, starting to go. ES bouncing off its IBL. So need to think about this. Can ES do the trade? The obvious trade on ES normally off an IBL would be a rotation back towards VWAP, wouldn't it? If we're going to do that, it might allow room for a squeeze out here on the market. Yes, exactly. Exactly. TR squeezes and squeeze out the early shorts. Remember, higher time frame is still upside, right? Everything is saying that we want to move upside. It's just a question of when is enough shorts, or when are enough shorts trapped in the market to rotate higher. We're not going to rotate higher by bids coming in and forcing the market up at highs. We're going to rotate higher by creating liquidity, allowing shorts to chase the market down, and finding a way to use their liquidity as fuel to trade higher. All right, that's how I like to trade all the time. Same as here. Shorts got stuck under here, pivot back above, trade up, hold, trade up, hold. These shorts get blown out, move back up. Right, then buyers chase in at the top, so we sell off, steal liquidity, and now it's going to be battleground to see who wins. Guys, if you don't clean it up in chat, I will just leave. Stop bickering and arguing with each other, start trading, or I will just leave and we'll just trade privately in Discord. It's really that simple. Don't need the distraction. You're either positive in this chat and help each other, or you're gone. Or even better, I'll leave and just trade. I don't need to be here every day. I do it to help people. If you're not happy with it, I'm out. Starting to hold flow zones here and VWAP. Very, very tight here. So that IBL on ES is the low of day yesterday on the SPY. Right, so it's the cash low yesterday. That's currently protecting yesterday's low of day on the SPY. NQ nowhere near it, as we know. NQ has had relative strength all day. Still think this market wants upside, I really do. It's just a question of if and where enough shorts are trapped in this for continuation higher. It looks like a new flag being formed here, if possible for continuation higher. Again, what is making this hard right now is the divergence in the market. Tesla down 1.5%, Nvidia pretty much flat on the day, everything else green. The red line, you get it when you do the course, mate. You get it when you do the course. Comes for free, as does the indicator. Nice thumper. Those in the Discord, I've just posted my executions and profit, so you can see that I'm not lying. All right. Very, very simple continuation trades all day. Then I took attempt at the short breakdown and covered it. And that's it. So ES reattempting to test towards its IBL. This is where we have to be cautious. Again, we are mid-range on the session. We're just dancing between the IBs. We're stuck at VWAP. This is a sign of chop. Look at the flow zones. We've gone from bearish trend, bullish trend, and now we're going sideways. Right? These are the market conditions which are less favorable. I'm less interested in trading in these market conditions. There's no foul language, Big Pun. Like, idiot's not foul language. Like, everyone just calm down, please. It's really easy. Just calm down. Don't need the negativity. It's distracting for me. If I start becoming distracting on stream, I'll just stop streaming because I can just trade my own book. Good work, Noah. Great work. Great work. It's big money. Call it a day. No reason to trade any more than that. That's great work. Nice, Rob. Love it. Market just trading sideways now. Very, very possible the market continues to do this for a while. Unless ES is really going to start pulling the market down with it, like we talked about. We're expecting a sideways market. That would be healthy for the market if we can consolidate up here above the expansion that we did yesterday, holding 50% of the range and just consolidate for a session or two or maybe longer. It is going to build stops into the market, which is going to favor a move to all-time highs. Exactly, Bo. It's exactly it. We talked about it yesterday. We talked about it today multiple times. Understanding that daily level, or we might need to consolidate here on the daily. Basically, build out a daily flag for an inverse head and shoulders for the right shoulder. Very, very simple. Yeah, Glenn, maybe they get it PM, but it wouldn't surprise me if we just consolidate a little bit, especially we've got news tomorrow, Powell talking tomorrow afternoon. Maybe that'll be the catalyst. Yeah, exactly, Noah. Exactly right. After big expansion days, we expect consolidation, and you can't trade consolidation the same way as you would trade trend. So inside initial balance, there's your first clue that we're in a range day. And look at the daily. We're inside yesterday's daily. Again, range day. It will happen, red line. Yeah, exactly, Coop. That's exactly it. Just building basically an H1 flag. It might need to build an H1 inverted head and shoulders. So like we talked about today on that H1, we know buyers will want to step in. The question is, do they step in here, value area low, where they stepped in already? Do they need to reprice this? Do they step in at support here? And then when they do, we're looking for a bullish pattern, same as we got this morning. So if we come lower, right, maybe it does this. Maybe it just creates a flag and does this. Maybe it comes down and just does a W. Maybe it's really nasty and does a V shape. Hopefully not. That would be the hardest thing to trade. It doesn't have to do it this week either. I mean, it really can. If it wants to be really annoying, it can do this over a few sessions and be here for next week and do this, you know, something like that. All these things are possible. Anything's possible we can be wrong. It's also possible. It might want to fake everyone out for some weird reason and come down here and get stuck and start breaking down. I don't see why it needs to do that, but you know, we have war going on in multiple countries. We have the tariff news. See what Jerome Powell has to say about that tomorrow, if it makes his life a bit more difficult. Maybe we go risk off. Normally, I would expect a bullish run into the new year, though. Volume dying right off here. So coming back towards New York Open now. Failed to pivot up and hold. So these buyers definitely stuck up here on the session. Very similar to yesterday. We had buyers stuck up high. If we think about yesterday's session, I think, Glenn, we talked about it. This move here, very similar. Bigger drive up. Buyers got stuck at the highs. Needed to reprice back towards where it found buyers earlier in the day. And then rallied off that for a move back towards supply, where we got stuck because these buyers all got out break even, selling the market back down until we traded sideways overnight. Very, very, very similar, and now just sideways action. I'm probably done for the day. I'll stick around here a little bit longer if you've got any questions. Still favor the upside higher time frame. It's now a question of if it can do it later in the day. But then just focus on the process. It will come, and don't talk negatively about yourself. You know, don't never, ever, ever put yourself down like that, because it's not true. It just means you're in a learning process. Okay, so a failed break below IBL here on the ES for now. So a 5-minute bar just attempted to expand lower and it traded instantly back upside. That is yesterday's low on the SPY as well. Yeah, you can trade edges, Glenn. You can definitely trade edges. The problem is right now it's like edges on ES look good, but the edges for us would be here, and we're nowhere near it. Which is why I'm constantly looking over here, because I'm watching ES to see what it does as a almost like a leader. News at 2. But if you look at ES, it's just done a failed auction underneath the IBL, and it's instantly moved upside. Let me have a look. I didn't know we had news at 2. Fed talkers. It's time now. Yeah, so 12:35. Kugler's talking. 1:30. Gooseby. And again, he's talking at 3:45. Definitely moving into a ranging market. I can already tell I'm done for the day. Unless something drastically changes, I've made enough money on the day in conditions which are less than favorable. What I'll be looking at now is if and only if this can hold. Otherwise, are we going to trade lower? Do we expand underneath IBL, or do we do a failed breakout? When the flow zones start to do this, I become much, much less interested. Bo, no big deal, man. 14-day green streak is amazing. And as long as your red days are smaller than your average green day, you're going to be fine, especially with a win rate like that. Yeah, that's awesome win rate. Don't even stress about it. Just put a line through it, come back tomorrow. I'm wondering if the SPI wants to find safety of a back test of that 5-day. We'd need to break underneath PDL and then come and basically test pre-market yesterday on the cash. Yeah, maybe SPY wants to trade down to 601. That's where we broke out from. That would be Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, and Monday's pivot. 685-ish, somewhere around that, if we're going to go into a sell on the SPY and the ES. And that will drag NQ down with it. Remember, we have divergence in the market. Tyson, send me a message in Discord, or do it all in Discord. Let's help you out there, buddy. I would think maybe you're going on tilt, or oversizing, or chasing the market. It would be one of those three things. So send a message. If I don't answer, one of the guys will. Let's get that habit out of you, because you're really good at passing them and you make some good money. Greg, what do I think about the Qs? I think the Qs is just really following. We're consolidating at highs. We've got a mixed bag on the Mag 7. It has the chance to pull down lower if it wants to find buyers. Qs will really follow whatever ES does for now. ES is the weaker of the two. So if I'm going to trade long, I really want to be trading NQ. I want to be trading the stronger of the pair. If I'm going to trade short, I probably want to be trading the ES. QQQ has a pivot down at 513.43. Underneath that, then we get expansion back down to reprice some of that big H1 candle that we did at the open yesterday. Yeah, no, don't stress about it, Tyson. It's like so easy to just go and beat yourself up. Maybe try and put a limit on the amount of size you can use. I think I can't remember if they've added that on. You're trading with Top Step, right? I know that's coming if they haven't done it already, because Michael's talked about it, where you can put a limit on the amount of size you can use. I'm pretty sure if you're trading on Rhythmic, you can do that. Oh, and Apex, what are you executing on? On Apex, you have to be very, very, very careful with size on Ninja. Okay, through Rhythmic or through TraderBait? Through Rhythmic, I think there is a way in RTrader to put a max size and a stop in place. Yeah, I think there is a way to do that on RTrader, Tyson. Because what you have to remember on Apex is, especially trading the Qs, if NQ does a big move and gives it back in the space of a second or two, you're effectively in drawdown straight away. So you've got to be careful with the sizing. Yeah, exactly, Bo. Exactly. Best to use a ATM strategy and just stick to the sizing. Well, Gabriel, I think the 5-minute and the 15-minute are just consolidating inside yesterday's range. That's all that's happening. But there is definite divergence in the market. Like, there is. SPY is trading at yesterday's low of day. Again, failed breakout there, or failed breakdown if you prefer, on the ES underneath the IBL. Okay, so shorts might be getting stuck here underneath 50s or underneath 48.50. So potential for a squeeze here if the ES gets going. So we've swept again, more stops here. Again, my bias is to come up here, but it just depends if it's got the juice to do it today or not. ATM strategy, it's a setting on Ninja where it's basically a bracket order. That's all it is. So when you press buy, it puts in your stop and you'll take profit instantly. So you can do it based on tick value. You can do it based on cash, whatever you want, points. Yep, totally. Could easily do that. It's not far to go, is it? It's not far to go. Sellers in control here. Buyers have been down here this morning. Right, and we're stuck in the middle, creating liquidity. That's why I haven't taken a trade since this. Right, I took that and covered, and that was it. And even that, I didn't get much out of it. It didn't move how I wanted. So potential squeeze here. There we go. They're starting to trigger, and I'm watching ES for this very, very, very cautiously. Pivot above here, hold of here, can potentially do it. Here is your bigger channel. This is literally the same as yesterday's move, exactly the same move. Stuck at the highs, had to come and revisit where we found buyers. It's revisiting it. Can it now start to pivot up, or do we just chop versus this level of supply? We get stuck in this range. But ES holding that IBL numerous times here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 minutes it spent down there, failed to break out and close one 5-minute candle underneath it. That says a lot. So here's the top of the range. Stops now at sort of 15 to 20. Very, very similar to yesterday, in and around lunchtime. Very similar. Looking strong here for a drive up into this daily level, into 17s. Not really like a slave relationship. It's more that tech is heavily weighted in NQ, and when tech's doing all the work, if we want to drive higher, I need to see rotation into some of the other markets, which basically show up stronger in the ES. So when ES starts to move like this off the lows, gives good thesis that NQ can go with it, because we get a rotation into more stocks other than just tech. All right, so Mag 7, I think worth like 40-50%. Oh, big squeeze up. So there's the stops getting run out. Looking good here. So there's the VWAP tap on the ES. So what did we talk about? Failed breakdown underneath IBL. Where do we normally go to on that move? We go to VWAP. So if you look at ES, failed breakdown underneath initial balance low to VWAP. Very probable move. We must talk about that every single day on stream. I think we talk about that move. So it's just a bit more tricky on ES right now, but I guess you could on NQ, but NQ has gone from VWAP to IB high, but never got anywhere near here. So what we had on ES is it came all the way down here, did this, right? That's a probable move, especially in range rotation days. Very probable move. And then it got slammed at VWAP. So you'd want to see ES now hold 53s. CC, I don't know, buddy. I trade what's in front of me. There's always a chance of anything. That's quite a big question. Is there a chance of it going down? Going down to where? I mean, yes, there's always a chance of the market going down and going up. But you can't just click a button because there's a chance of something. So really now, if we can hold this level up here, then we've put in low, higher low. Can we put in a higher low and start to squeeze up? This is the move we've been talking about all day. Again, it's going to require ES to get over the VWAP. It's going to require a rotation into some other stocks other than relying on the Mag 7 all the time. Checking the tape, there's a seller still at 21,240. We talked about him earlier in the day. All right, so maybe they're going to try and move it up towards him. New flag here on a 1 minute. Can they get that expansion or not? The seller at 240, 131 lot. And above that, 250 is about a 50 lot there. And then not much above until we get towards 300. 300, 350 have sort of 80 block lots up there. Again, ES failing to move through VWAP, making it hard for QQQ, making it hard for NQ. This is looking a bit better here. So I'm joining this long here for this flag, scalping out straight away. Like I said, I'm being very proactive today. I'm not holding big size, but I'd like to see this move up violently now. Beautiful. So I'm in from 19 and looking for expansion. That last dip down and hold was the clue for me. Stop's already in the money. All right, I'm just scalping away here. Unless I get this runner to like really expand 40, 50, 60 points, just moving my stop with it, being very proactive because we have divergence. So 40 key level, like we said, big seller at 40. That's the magnet. They want to drag it up towards 40. He's on the tape there, making himself known. 150 lot. Now he just moved down to 130 lot. I execute, so it depends what I'm trading, Bo. So I have top step X for top step and then Ninja for everything else, yeah. The only reason I'm using top step X is it's cheaper. Yeah, just two reasons. One, it's cheaper. All right, so they won't charge you as much, as in cheaper for round trip, yeah, per micro or per mini. And also, Top Step, if you don't use Top Step X, they won't give you the 10x. So what I mean by that is, if I wanted to trade, let's say I'm trading a 50K account and I want to trade 10 micros or 100 micros, I can't do that on Ninja. You can only do that on Top Step X. Right, they only give you the 10-to-1 ratio between micros and minis on Top Step X. They won't do it on another platform. I have no idea why. It's stupid, because everyone else does. The fills. I haven't had any problems. Sometimes it has been laggy. Like it was laggy this morning on that newsprint at 10. But that's to be expected. But I haven't had too many problems. So not into 240 yet. He's still on the book. 240 and 250 are still there. So can dips get bought up here? Remember, we're pretty extended here from the flow zones. These will need to catch up. This is very, very steep. We are still in a range, right? Still in a range underneath IB high. So still have to respect IB high. 13 more likes, please, guys. If ES can get through view up, then NQ can really, really get going here. Stuck again there on ES. And Q didn't even take the liquidity at 35 or 34. No, CC, I don't think it's a good idea to go short now. The structure is bullish right now. Even if it gives a flush. You are guessing, my friend. You need a strategy. I can already tell from what you're asking. Don't be guessing the market. Follow the structure in front of you. We are in bullish momentum right now. It's good to go short when it signals that the short's ready, not until then. Yeah, it's all right. You can. There's nothing wrong with scalping days like today, Max. It's not like we're having big 100-point moves. Can we hold into sort of 14s, maybe a little bit lower? Let the flow zones catch up a little bit. Don't want buyers to get stuck high again like we had earlier. It looks like a good W on the 15-minute and the 5-minute. Would want price to hold around 210 for any continuation higher. ES trying to do a 5-minute flag here. If it can do that, like I keep saying, and expand through view up, then we can potentially have a squeeze in the NQ. Notice volume tapered right off here. So consolidation at highs with light volume. Trading up to old point of control. We cannot get through that old point of control. 32s. So yesterday's POC. So we're stuck between 2 point of controls, basically. Like everything screaming a stuck range. Hard to get much follow through today. Nine more likes, please, team. 9 more likes. I'd love to see this rip through the IB high and put in a little squeeze. But again, ES just cannot do it. Cannot do the move. You can see right here, stuck between old point of control and current point of control. Very tight range. That's where we're stuck. Or at least you know where you're going wrong. At least you know where you're going wrong. If you're going to buy these, you got to wait for it. Do this, and then maybe this, risking this, for example, and TP1, TP2. Just watching the tape here. So SPY rejecting view up again. Back to flow zones here. Do they start to soak or not? Is the question. That is the question. Just a chop day. Very tight range on the session today. This is very, very tight range, really, from here to here. CC, it's gone down about 15 points, buddy. In bullish structure, yeah, it's just come off IB high to the flow zones. It might be, you might be right. Maybe it rotates all the way back down. But you were asking when we're here, is it a short? I mean, you need something to risk off, right? You need to see it reject and do this to get short to view up, rather than guess this and get blown out. Where's your stop if you're doing this? I mean, I guess you could play the IB high if you're just saying your stops here and you're taking short here and risking very little for rotation back to view up. Not a bad trade, in fairness to you. Later, Zabe. Okay, so can they hold this, consolidate for a flag for a move higher? We've had low volume. You'd want to see volume come back in here for an aggressive move higher if you're looking for the long. And you'd want to see ES do some of the work. 40 still the level. That seller still there at 40. For me, that's the magnet. Can it drag itself up towards 40? SPY rejecting VWAP. ES moving back down currently. Looking good here. Can we get that move to 40? Notice the volume, like we just talked about, stepping back in. All right, pull back to flow zones, volume stepping in. They need to hold now 22. All right, buyers need to hold this level here and do this micro move here for that. I'm on the right chart, yeah. Yes, on the M5. Yeah, absolutely would. Yeah, so if you look at the ones, the candles underneath the IBL, 1045, 1050, then the pivot above 653, and then it needs to hold this bullish structure. We are in a down channel on the ES, Tyson, but it's looking good for a potential pivot up. I just want to see it get through VWAP. I'm going to be honest, CC. How much size have you used? That's not a mean reversion. It's not mean reverted to anything yet. That's right down here. So you've made an absolute maximum there of 20 points. So how much size have you got on for that? Oh, it's funny. I mean, I'm glad you're profitable, but like you can see, structure is still bullish. Don't reward yourself for guessing. You've been in chat asking me, is it long or short, numerous times. If you start rewarding yourself for guessing and being profitable, that is a sure way to be a loser, right? Because you'll take a dopamine hit from guessing and getting it right, and the next time you'll guess and get it wrong because you've got no trade plan. If you've actually executed a trade plan there, then well done. Like if your trade plan, if you had good thesis to take that trade, well done. I'm not shitting on anyone that sticks to their trade plan. But if you've guessed there and got lucky, be very cautious rewarding yourself with a dopamine hit, because you're just going to fill your body to do the same thing over and over and over again. Right, so we are holding this level that we just talked about. It would need to build some form of structure here now. You want to see expansion up. You want to see ES do it. I keep saying I am a broken record today. Beautiful. So 40 still the magnet. He's still there on the book. 138 orders to get filled. And then you've got a 40 lot above him, a 60 lot above him, and a 25 lot above him. All right, so they're just stacking it up, trying to pull the market up. Exactly, going to the magnet. Yeah, we'll get there, Tyson. We'll get there. Honestly, watching how you talk, you remind me very, very much of myself. I feel like you probably get frustrated, oversize, have big winning days, and then maybe get a bit overconfident or add to losers sometimes where you've taken a bad entry and you think you just add a little bit more to get the entry good. We've just got to iron that out of you. Very common. If you ask most guys in the room, that say most people have the same issue. The other common issue is too scared to pull the trigger, which I don't think you have. So ES again cannot get through VWAP. ES is the problem today. So if we are going to truly rotate IBL, all right, we're going to start to roll, and then under here maybe VWAP, and then where did we just found buyers? Again, what are we in? We are in a range. So if it can't hold here to expand, then VWAP, and we just stay in this range. And this range is on multiple time frames. Hourly range, 5-minute range, 15-minute range. And we're still playing inside of yesterday's daily candle. Yeah, the front half of the course is quicker because it's more basic introductory stuff, and the back half starts to get longer and longer lessons. Seven more likes. I'll stay here for about another half an hour with you. Here goes ES having one more attempt. It's having one more attempt to drive up into VWAP. Seller still on the book. All right, still on the book. I tell you what, those other sellers are starting to stack up towards 75 and 80 now. They're really trying to drag this market up with them. Beautiful. Beautiful move. There we go. There we go. So flow zone's caught up and we start to expand. So 14 hour taken. Magnet so far working. Now you're thinking about 50, 55. And then they're starting to stack up towards 75 and 80. All right, remember the target today that we really wanted to go for, previous day high and Asia London. We just took Asia London. All right, we've talked about this all day. This move into here, that is Asia London high. And then this move into previous day high above. So thank you, Amir Khan. Hopefully you went full tilt and lost everything. If you stuck with me today and traded, you would have known we were looking for this long side move. And look at ES now through VWAP. That was key. So 275 starting to stack up. 270, 275, 80. Stick with the process. You should be runners only right now. Don't be joining too high. Let's see if IB can hold, and you should just be looking for that expansion through 250 psychological number in towards previous day high now. Absolutely beautiful. Everything we planned out. All right, every single thing we planned out. Every single thing we planned out. Every single thing where the buyers come in this morning, we planned out. Right, you just got to wait to execute. These are the easy moves. The longs are easy because the multiple time frames want to move upside. They are much easier than shorts in this current market condition because we are in a bull cycle. So trading into a big daily level, if we can start expanding through PDH, I don't think it will be asking a lot to go and take out the all-time high. I honestly don't, because it was created in a London and Asia session, which means it's very thin up there. Great drive from ES. So ES is so nice, finally doing the move. It might go all the way straight back through IBH now. Very, very nice. So it finally got that rotation where we didn't just rely on tech, and that was important. It was important. That's what gave the impetus for this move. Probably got much better ads across all the other indexes, across all the other sectors like the banking sector, health sector. No worries, Mindful Matters. Thanks for being here. Thanks to everyone who's positive, who brings a good energy every day. So like I said, 60 next level. This level here, PDH, is going to come and search for it. All right, it's coming to search for 60. It knows all the swing stops are there from last night. So every trade today we've been focused on really has been long. I took one short today, which was the continuation short. Where was that? Here. And it was a scalp, and it didn't last very long. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. This is your low-hanging fruit. Okay, low-hanging fruit now gone. So you should just be holding on to runners. That is a low-hanging fruit trade. For me, everything that I would want to see in this session has now happened. All right, we've done absolutely everything. Yeah, big W's in chat. Thanks very much. Thanks very much. The all-time high. No, the all-time high. Hang on, let me scroll upward. Where did I just see someone talk about that? Nice, Max. Nice, Tyson. Saved him. There you go, Tyson. Do I have all-time high created in Asia? It looks like New York to me. I'm pretty sure it's Asia, London. I will check. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, that's interesting. Oh, you know what? You're right. Are you? No. Hang on. Wrong chart. Hang on. No, it was created in London. It was created in London. Monday the 11th. Traded up. The high was put in 7 and 8 a.m. All right, that was a London session high. There's no cash traded up there. Remember, cash is traded from 8:30 onwards and really from 9:30. Jesus Christ, come on. All right, so like I said, the high probability trade, you need to go in the bin. The high probability trade has been and gone, all right? That trade up to the low hanging fruit that we talked about all morning, it's been and gone. So you should just be holding runners only now. And you should have locked in that money. Sorry, everyone that keeps deleting the messages, I'm sorry. So great work, team. How many of you grabbed that long? Hopefully some of you grabbed that long. So Max got it, Tyson got it, Asa got it, Coop got it, Glenn got it. Max loving it. I'll absolutely love that. TR got it, Noah got it, Thumper. Persistence pays. That's it, guys. There's nothing for me to trade now this session, right? I'm gonna be like start enforcing this more and more. Once we get that low-hanging fruit trade, becomes far less probable for the next trade. Honestly, I feel like we got the best trades today on the stream. I don't think we could have done much else. Like I said in the morning, the reason I used to not trade the opening bell with you is because you have to be quick on the trigger, and trying to teach that at the same time as trading is not easy. So yes, I got long here because this was the trap underneath for the turn. Then I got long on dips back in, dips back in, dips back in. And then I got short here for a tiny scalp, barely got anything out of that, hoping it would come back down into this range. And then since then, we waited, and then we joined long up here for this move. Taken out previous day high, we've searched for liquidity. There isn't much else to do here, all right, other than letting it now build out internal range. So the way to think about it, all of this was shorts being built into the market to allow us to get up here. Okay, the buyers, they wanted to buy down here. It's where we bought this morning. You can see that pivot held, right? This is where buyers wanted to hold. So all of this pull back in allowed buyers to come back in the market here where we have volume, and shorts, more shorts, more shorts, more shorts, more shorts, more shorts, and then they get squeezed out. They add more in because they're praying. Not that anyone on chat did the same, but they're praying it goes down here. It doesn't go down there. It runs their stops and goes to the target level. It's a very, very simple setup. Once you understand what the market is trying to do, how it is trying to build liquidity, it will become much, much easier for you. If you want to learn this, if you're not understanding what I'm saying, just do the course, honestly. Just do the course. It will all make sense. Look how much we're selling off now that we've taken the liquidity. Is there a delay, Redline? I think there's like a 5 or 6 second delay on the stream. That's it. I've got it on the fastest setting possible, which is why I always talk about what I'm looking for before taking the trade so it can set you guys up. Tyson. Well, that's a good comeback. What I would say now is walk away. Walk away for the day. You basically just treat it like you got back to break even. Just walk a day. No trade. Walk away now. No trading for the rest of the day. Go and rest. Don't make that same mistake again tomorrow, because the temptation for you will be to try and trade and get all that money back. And more than likely, when you do that, you will end up giving back more than you want to. Break and retest. Yes. What I'd say, Glenn, the issue is the drawn liquidity is gone. We took it. So now everyone who chased and didn't understand that they needed to take profit here is underwater. So now we've got maybe some overhead supply here. Might just trade all the way back down. We're underneath IB again. Look at ES trading back inside again. So I don't love the upside now because that low-hanging fruit has gone. Yeah, does that make sense, mate? Hopefully. Yeah, it's a great trade, Max. 30 points. I'm not even answering CC anymore. I don't know what to say. Multiple time frame telling us to go long now. No, it's not, because I don't understand when you write that message. We've already taken the liquidity we're searching for. Multiple time frame is now in a range. We've searched above. Look, make this simple. Right, we searched below value area into imbalance, right? Here is the structure. Yesterday, breakout, flag. We come down, we found buyers. Where do we trade up to? Remember, we're not trying to get all the move. We need a piece. We trade up to previous day high. We take that, trade's gone. Trade has been and gone now. Like I've said multiple times today and yesterday, I expect us to trade sideways somewhat, because I expect us to build out some form of liquidity on a daily chart. Oh, I was on the wrong chart then for you, wasn't I? Hang on, let me go back. Sorry. I'll do it again. Yesterday's high, right? This is the main structure. So, breakout, we expect higher prices. This is bullish, right? We expect higher prices. We create a flag. We come into imbalance. We check the value area low. We found buyers there. We create liquidity. We trade up to where? Previous day high. Okay, we've taken that liquidity now. I expect us, and I've talked about this multiple times today and yesterday, to build liquidity here. We need to be building liquidity here, all right, to do this move. We need to use this liquidity. So we need to build shorts into the market to allow us to do that. Notice everything is starting to contract. What does that mean? It means we're going to have a squeeze moment. I think it would be upside. I can be wrong. I'm talking about on a daily. We will have a squeeze moment where we break out and then the Bollingers expand back up. Very much like here, right? Here we had the squeeze moment. They're wide, they come together, we squeeze up. And try and find other ones. It happens both ways in the charts. Here is a good example to the downside. They squeeze together, they get narrow, we break down, we trend down, and these expand with it, and we get stuck into the 5-day until we do a proper mean reversion. So I would like to see us trade sideways. I would like to see us really hold inside of yesterday's price action. Hold in this level here. This is what I would like to see price do today, which is why I'm done for the day. We have got the high probability move. Hopefully that makes sense. Exactly, Glenn. Exactly, Glenn. Yeah, not all-time highs, but on the session. Basically, yes. Yeah, so this was a high probability move, was to here. All right, it wasn't just to here. If we think about, let me just clean these up a second and do a small lesson here before I sign off for the day. We're always looking, remember, when we're trading, we're either looking to build liquidity or we're looking to search for liquidity. That's all the market's ever doing. So when we came into today's session, right, just focus on this chart here, the top chart here. Yesterday and the last few sessions, right, we're in very clear bullish structure. Sorry, let me get my tool. Okay, failed breakdown leads to bullish structure. This is a break and retest of where we broke out. Yesterday, big push, pullback, big push, pullback, holding this structure, right? Then we go sideways overnight. And then we start to drop down the end of London, right? I'm going to zoom into this now. Many would think this is now bearish because we're driving down. They're not zooming out enough to understand that we can observe this structure from like New York Open, you could do this, 50% pullback. Right, that pullback today was 50% from yesterday's drive, pivot drive up, pulled back, held price structure. If you didn't want to do a fib, this is what I'm talking about, multi-time frame longs. We can think about where's liquidity for it to search for. Well, there's a pivot right here. Right, this is where buyers were yesterday. They were showing their hand at 10 o'clock in the morning or 11 o'clock in the morning yesterday. We came back down, probably took some of them out, but really allowed more to get involved. So in here, you had breakout shorts entering the market, and you had smart money buying. We then start to reverse off this because we are in what? We are in higher time frame bullish structure. We are in an uptrend, bullish structure, every pullback soaking, bullish structure. So we are expecting price to go upside. So we're waiting for the market to show us when it's ready to go upside. We go upside. After we steal liquidity, trade up. Where are the easy low-hanging fruits? London Asia high, right? Because we know all the short stops are there. And then previous day high. So we trade through these levels. We've stolen the liquidity. What can it search for next? Not that much. You have to go back a long, long time for this London session, right? This is what I was talking about earlier. Notice the time here, 7 o'clock. This liquidity was created in a gap up in Asia London, that Friday into Monday, Sunday, Monday. There's the gap up, right? So this is like an island high. So we've got supply up here of Asia London. I think we take that at some point, but right now we've done the easy low-hanging fruit trade, right? We've gone and created internal liquidity on the session to get up to the key levels where we can run stops. So on the day now, we're running out of things to do. Probable, it just wants to bounce around here for a while. Maybe come down a bit, go up a bit, create stops in the market that we can use later in the week. Remember, our game plan really is for upside. Hopefully later in the week, but it might be that it comes next week. We have to see how we react. But once we took previous day high, notice how much we're dropping down now. Like I said, once we took that, you should be selling into it, and then it's a partial only. And then we're doing a full rotation back downside. So low-hanging fruit trades all the time are what I like to focus on, and pro trend. No worries, Thumper. Yeah, I don't know how to say your name. Oh, Grim Reaper. If you do the course, links down below, flowzonetrader.com. It's one-time fee, $4.99, 20-hour course, and you get the indicator and Discord for free. Yeah, NFP on Friday, that's right. All right, Amir, like, you're welcome to your logic, buddy, but I will trade my logic and be profitable how I am. And, you know, you trade yours. Apparently, I have faulty logic. I don't understand why you're here if my logic's constantly faulty. It's weird that you're even here. Can I do TA for Bitcoin? What's TA? You want me to go over the Bitcoin chart? I can go over BTC chart if that's what you're asking. BTC looks good to me. Consolidation at highs. Holding this range here. After an expansion higher. It's already done the measured move. So you would need BTC to do the same thing. You'd want to see it holding this 20-day, which it's trying to do at the moment. So that's your mean reversion. And if it's going to expand any further, these are some of the targets. And you could even go, if it holds this pivot low, a 161 into 105 or 106,000. Yeah, but you'd need to see it holding that 20-day. Every time it's held the 20-day on pullbacks for expansion, it's looked good. It's looked very, very strong. It's lonely, probably because you're a bit of an arse, man. Nice, Max. All right, guys, I'm calling it a day. Nice trading session. I'll speak to you guys in the Discord. We can go over stuff that we might be expecting to happen later on in the day. Exactly, lunchtime just around the corner. And I'll see you tomorrow. Some of you might be banned tomorrow. Good luck for that. And you can go and annoy someone else. And let's have a good day. Close out the week strong. But yeah, everyone in chat, I'll talk to you in there in Discord. We can make a trade plan for this afternoon. Peace and love. Be nice. Don't be like these idiots in the chat. Be nice to people. Be kind. It will serve you better. Use hard stops. Remember, there's still lots of headlines coming out, both based on trade wars and actual wars going on in the Middle East. So please have those hard stops in place. And I'll see you soon. Be safe.